Hey, it's Bjorn from WPLearningLab. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to edit user roles and create new user roles using the User Role Editor plugin. So we're here in the WordPress dashboard. We're going to hover over plugins and then click on Add New. And in the search bar, type in User Role Editor. That's a spelling mistake. To find our plugin, which is right here. This is the one I like to use. There's a bunch of others. If you don't want to use this one, try a different one, see which one you like. I like this one. Before you install it, back up your site, back up your database. Goes without saying, even though I said it. I'm going to click on Install Now, and then on Activate. The plugin is now installed and ready to go. And what it does is it adds under the Users menu a new item called User Role Editor. And also under All Users, it adds a link called Capabilities beside each user, which I'll get to after we do the User Role Editor. So if we hop over to here, to the User Role Editor, we see a lot of stuff that users can do on this site. It's a lot of things. At the very top, we select a role and change its capabilities. So currently subscriber is selected, and we can see there is a list of all, or a category of all. So this is all the user permissions available. There are 71 of them, and the subscriber has 2 that they're allowed to do. So if we switch this to the editor, let's say, they're allowed to do 34 things versus 2 that a subscriber is allowed to do, which is a lot more. And you can edit any one of these. If you don't want users to do certain things or user roles to do certain things, just uncheck stuff or check stuff if you want them to do it, and click on Update to make those changes. If you want to make a new user role, it's also very easy. Just click on Add Role, and you can make one called Client. Maybe you have a client work you do, and you want them to be able to see things. And you can make a copy of an existing role, which makes things a lot easier if you know what the roles are each capable of. It's going to select Contributor, click on Add Role. And if you are wondering what each of the default roles are capable of, there is a handy WordPress Codex page that I'm linking to, or that I have linked to in the description below. And it basically is a big page that shows all the user capabilities. Super admin for multi-sites, administrator for regular WordPress sites, and a list of all the stuff they can do. And then the editor, what the editor can do, what the author, contributor, and subscriber can do. And that's all the default roles on a WordPress site. But here we're creating a brand new one, and we can check whatever we want, or uncheck whatever we want, to give them whatever capabilities we think that they need. And if you're not quite sure what this looks like these options are pretty descriptive, like edit dashboard, edit other pages, edit others posts, edit pages, edit plugins, edit posts. It kind of makes sense in your head what they're able to do, but if you're not quite sure, I recommend that you create the user. So I'm just going to create this user right now with those capabilities. Click on Update. And then, create the user role. And then I'm going to create a user. I'm going to click on Add New under Users. And I'm going to create one called Client Demo, and just enter some valid stuff, grab this password, and I'm going to choose the user role of Client, which has now been added to our user role list, which is awesome. And you can also have them do other roles. So if you have a client that you also want to be an editor, just check on that. And then I get the client user roles plus the editor user roles, which is pretty handy. But in this case, we just want them to be the client. So I'm going to create this user. And I recommend you do this as well if you're not sure what a user is able to do. And I'm going to open a different browser, open Firefox, go to our login page. And the username was Client Demo. Password was that. Click on Login, and now we'll be able to see what options they have available to them. And this is all the options. On this far left here, we have the admin account on the website, all the stuff it can do. And this is now our client user role that we just created and what they're allowed to do. And if you find that they can do more than they need to or not enough, you can just go back into the user role editor and just make changes as needed. Maybe you want them, for example, they can't access the appearance menu to mess around with themes. Maybe you want them to be able to do that. Just click on the themes category here, check this box, check all of them. or a subset if you don't want them to do some of these. Then click on first select the collect user role. My bad. And then go to themes, then check all of them, then click update, then click yes. Then go back to our signed in client user, refresh the page, refresh the dashboard, and we see the appearance menu now appear. And so you can go back and forth this way, and you can give them exactly the user roles and user permissions that you want them to have. And you can also change them at any time, which you just saw as well. That's basically how you edit user roles and create new user roles if you want to. But there's one more thing you can do, which is pretty cool. If you go to all users, this is back in the admin account where we're making all these changes. There's a link called capabilities beside each user's name. If we click on capabilities, we are able to edit the capabilities for that specific user. So we're changing capabilities for WP PhD, the user, which is pretty powerful stuff. So you can assign someone the user role of client, but then you can go in, or any user role for that matter, then you can go in and select or deselect whatever options and permissions you want for that user and have that only be applied to that user, which is pretty powerful stuff. And if you're at all interested in editing user roles or permissions or making new ones, I suggest you install this plugin or one that's similar to it and just start doing it. That's all there is to it. I hope this video helps you. My name is Bjorn Allpass from WP Learning Lab. Please make sure you like this video, subscribe to YouTube channel, share it on social media, and check out WPLearningLab.com where I publish more WordPress tutorials like this every single day. Talk to you soon.